Alright, so this is going to be a quick video disassembling this Toshiba satellite 675D-S7101. So this is actually a parts computer. The customer brought it for spare parts. They already took out the hard drive and there's only one stick of RAM in here. If you want to see how to open this up completely, you can watch the video I uploaded earlier for a very similar model. It was 675 as well. I think it was S7103 or something. But anyways, a lot of the screws are already missing on here, so just pretend we're already removing all the screws. I think there's one screw here. Yeah. Alright, all the other screws seem to be removed. Oh, there's another one over here. If you're working on this and your computer is completely intact, you're not just taking it apart to take it apart, you want to keep the flat side of the screws down like this in the pattern you remove them on your desk to keep track of them, so that you can put the same screws back where you got them. Alright, anyways, I'm just checking to make sure all the screws are out of here. Then we're going to flip this over. And if you wanted, you would pull the CD drive out. You can also pull the hard drive out. But let's go ahead and flip this over. Again, this is just a parts computer, so it's all broken and stuff. We're going to slowly, carefully open it up. Alright, usually what I would do is I would leave the two corner screws in to help support the hinges. But as you can see, it was okay. Next, we're going to pull out this plastic bar. I just get my thumb in here, my fingernail. You can use a plastic pry tool or something. But basically, we're getting under there, and we're lifting this bar out. So sometimes it has problems coming up, but there we go. Lift it up, just like that. Okay, I'm just getting my thumb in there and basically lifting it like this. Okay, so there we go. We got this bar out. We're going to set that aside. Then what we're going to do, we're going to remove all the screws along the top here. Alright. So if you're just replacing the keyboard, there's only these 4 screws, this one and that you need to remove. But since we're going to take the top cover off, we're going to remove the 2 screws in between as well. Excuse me. Alright. Alright, so we're just going to get all these screws out. Here you can see it's a Toshiba Satellite C675. Okay, removing the last screw. I think he mixed up some screws on his because they look different here. On this model, they have longer screws here. On the one that he had before had short screws, so I don't know. Anyways, we're going to pull up the center and we're going to pull in the edges. So I push with my thumb and pinky to kind of basically pull it in like this. And there we go. Once you get it lifted up slightly, you can pull it forward here to get those little feet out. Then we can lift it up. We're going to flip this latch here just like that, and then you can go ahead and pull this back, and we got the keyboard out. Alright, I am going to have to, well, this one's for spare parts. I forgot to clean the keyboard on the other one, but we'll leave that for now. Okay, so for this, we're going to have to disconnect the trackpad cable here. Flip that latch up. Once you do that, you can pull this cable out. It helps to kind of get underneath the blue tab itself, not the whole cable, just the blue tab. Grab that, and then you can pull the connector out. That's for the trackpad. And then we have to also disconnect the speaker connector here. I just use my fingernails at the edges, and then I kind of just wiggle and pull it. Okay. Just like that, and there we go. Okay. Once we've done that, we're going to now remove 2 more screws in here, and then we can pull this cover off, just like the other one. So I think it's pretty much the same exact thing for this C675. Alright, remove those 2 screws, and then to pop this palm rest off, I usually will get my fingers in here, and I'll use one to push down, and then another finger to kind of pull up. So just like this, here you can see it pops out. Alright, and then we're going to just work our way around, pulling the whole casing up. I like to use my fingernail as well to kind of just go along and help pop the clips. But if it doesn't work, you might have to use some plastic pry tools. Let's see. Let's continue going around the front here. Okay, why is it stuck? Are there hidden screws I forgot about? No? Okay, we got all the screws. So we're just going to have to kind of work it a bit harder. pull it a bit more. Okay, kind of wiggle this as I kind of lift, and there you go, it's coming out. Same thing with the front, you can kind of wiggle it a bit. Okay, so here we go. The front is kind of stuck here. So we're probably going to do what we did with the other one. Rotate it like this, get my fingernails in there, and then I'm going to use my thumb on the palm rest to help push to kind of bend it, and use another one to kind of pull this bottom cover back a little bit. So let's see if we can do that. Okay, there we go, it's working. Again, you can use plastic pry tools for this, you don't have to use fingernails. Wow, this one's really stuck for some reason. Let's go ahead and go along this side then. Okay, that's already completely out. Are there screws I missed down there? No. Okay, so I don't know why, but this side doesn't want to come out easily. But we're just going to work our way over. Okay, there we go. I just worked my fingernails over to the edge and it popped out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this. Pull, it doesn't want to work. Let's try from the other side. Alright, so let's get our fingernails over here and then push from this side. And that still doesn't want to come out. Wow, okay, so we're probably going to have to use a stronger metal pry tool if this doesn't come out. I don't know why it's stuck so strong in here, but it is. So, okay, I'm going to use my thin metal pry tool in that case. We're going to just get in the edge here. And we're going to try and just wiggle it around and see if we can get the clip to pop out. I don't know why it's just stuck on this one spot here. There we go. Alright, I guess it's a little bit stuck here as well. Okay, there we go. So we got those clips out. So this is just a parts computer, but basically we're going to be taking the charge port out. Here you can see the clips. I don't know why those clips were so strong, but they're intact as you can see, so not broken. All right, so same thing as the other one. Optical disk drive slot is replaceable. Wireless cards here, LCD LVDS connector. If you're gonna mess with this, press and hold the power button here about 15 seconds to drain any residual power to make it safer to work on. You got the 2 trackpad buttons here, so if those aren't working, you can replace that. Excuse me. Charge ports here, and you got the fan, 2 screws here, and 1 screw down here. Alright, then of course power button's also replaceable, and you got the fan connector here, and the charge port connector there. So, we're going to just be pulling the charge port connector out. Charge port connector's right there. Let me actually zoom in here for you. Alright, and let's see. So the cable kind of runs around like this. It's kind of flat. And going along the fan, we're going to pull the excess slack out from the fan connector area. It is pretty dusty, so you kind of want to get that dust off and throw it away. Alright. Okay, so these connectors can be a little tough to remove, but basically just grab it, hold it firmly, and you kind of just wiggle it as you pull. As you can see, there's a gap forming there, but you just want to keep working it. If you have some good pliers, you can try grabbing here as well on the outer edge, but usually it's very slippery and doesn't hold well, so we're just gonna keep holding here and wiggling. Alright, so you can see we're getting that out. Once you get it out quite a bit, if you want, you can try getting a plastic tool in there in that little gap and then use that to kind of twist it. Here you can see the gap is opening more. Okay, and it helps to go left and right. So I go to the left, I twist the tool a little, and then I go to the right of the connector and I twist a little, and we're just continuing working that until it slowly walks itself out. All right, so there we go. And the connector over here, all right, you can see it's just threaded around like that. So we can get this, and hopefully we can pull this out without taking out the, yeah, so, whoa, this one actually looks worse than the other one. So I don't know how this one is, like it's more solid of a connection. But it is, so I don't know. This one looks like it was destroyed. So I don't know if you can see that. There you go. The plug fits into it just nice. So the customer told me this one works fine with the plug in without the battery. So that means it's getting a good solid connection. So we're just going to use that, I guess. All right. That's what the customer asked for. They wanted it done quick, and I don't have a spare one. I'd have to order, which would take like 4 days, 3 or 4 days. So he told me to just swap them out. All right. Let's go ahead and pop this in. Okay, so we're just gonna get everything back together. Flip that latch back down once you get the cable in. Okay. Oops, let's go ahead and actually clip all the edges back in first. Okay, let's get the speaker connector back in that we pulled out here. Make sure it's lined up right. It shouldn't. It should go in evenly. You don't want to get it at a weird angle. Okay, get that in. Flip that latch down. All right, let's get the 2 screws back into here. Okay, if you were replacing the charge port, you'd basically do the same thing but in reverse. You'd put the thing back in. I will show that on the other video. Make sure that you put the connector the right way. Red wires are going up this way, black wires are going down this way. All right, you don't want to try and plug it in upside down like this, because then you can damage the connectors or your computer. Okay. All right, so we got all of that in. Let's go ahead and get the keyboard. Okay, make sure that latches up. Get the connector. I like to get behind with my thumb here behind that cable, and then we're gonna basically just push that in here. Okay, you want to again make sure to push it in evenly. You don't want to put it in at an angle. Okay, once you get that in, flip that latch down. There we go. Slide the little feet back underneath. You have to do this at an while the keyboard is at an angle. Okay, slide that back in. There we go, and then push these edges in. You might have to lift this side up to get the sides in. Okay, just like this. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna get all those screws back in. Get that screw in. Good. Get the screw over here in. Okay. Again, this laptop that he brought is missing a bunch of screws. Oh, it has a dead bug carcass. That's gross. Alright, let's get this screw in. Hopefully it's not gonna end up bringing bugs into my house, but alright, get that screw in. Get this screw in. Alright, and the last screw for the keyboard. Get that in. Alright, then we're going to put the plastic bezel back on top. If you're wondering, there is a slight raised curved part at the back here, and that part you want on this side, alright, not down here. So if you put it back, that's how you want it. Let's get this back in. I like to get that side in and then the other side in. So get these sides in and then work your way over the center. There we go. We're going to carefully close this up. And we'll just put back the 2 screws that were in here. There weren't any other screws, so that's pretty much all there is to this model. If this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Other than that, that's pretty much all we're going to do with this one. Again, if you want a more thorough, complete with all the other components on it, I'm uploading a video of that pretty much around the same time as this one. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.